Ever try asking for directions in Germany, only to freeze up because you can't remember if you're supposed to say zum Bahnhof, zur Bahnhof, mit dem Bus, or mit der Bus? It's easy to get tangled up in these similar-sounding variations. Today, we are going to fix that. By the end of this video, you will have a formula to construct sentences that answer two practical questions. Wohin gehst du? Where are you going? And womit fährst du? How are you getting there? The engine that controls all of these travel sentences is the dative case, or dative. Mastering this application of the dative case allows you to communicate travel plans with grammatical accuracy. Before we build a sentence, we have to establish the foundational rule of German location grammar. You must mentally separate the act of standing still from the act of moving from point A to point B. First, there is static, or a static state. This answers the question, wo? Where am I? Think of this as standing still inside a supermarket. You are already there. Look at this diagram. On the left is our static state, but on the right we have Bewegung, or movement. This answers the question, wohin? Where to? This describes walking toward that same supermarket. This tutorial strictly focuses on the rules of Bewegung, answering wohin. Recognizing this active state of movement is the essential trigger. It tells your brain to engage the travel formula we're about to build. Step 1 of our formula is identifying your destination. To say to thee in German when you are heading somewhere, we use the preposition zu. The preposition zu always forces the noun that follows it into the dative case. Look at this visual equation. Masculine nouns use der and neuter nouns use das. In the dative case, both change to dem. When we combine zu and dem, they merge into a single word, some. So if you are going to the train station, der Bahnhof, a masculine noun, it transforms to zum Bahnhof. The exact same logic applies to a neuter noun, like das Rathaus, the city hall. It transforms to zum Rathaus. Now, look at this new equation for feminine nouns, which use die. In the dative case, die changes to der. Combine zu and der, and they merge into zur. If you need to go to the pharmacy, die Apotheke, the destination phrase becomes zur Apotheke. Let's do a quick checkpoint. If the post office is die Post, a feminine noun, how would you say you are going to the post office?
So just like to, mit dictates the use of the dative case. This creates a mapping for our transport genders. For masculine and neuter vehicles, we use mit dem. For feminine vehicles, we use mit der. For example, der Bus becomes mit dem Bus. Das Fahrrad, the bicycle, becomes mit dem Fahrrad. The U-Bahn, the subway, becomes mit der U-Bahn. There is one exception to this vehicle rule, traveling by walking. To say on foot, you use the unique phrase zu Fuß. Furthermore, when you walk, you must pair this phrase with the verb gehen, meaning to walk or go, rather than fahren, which implies riding or driving. Pairing your transport phrase with your destination phrase provides a specific account of your movement. We have all our pieces. The final step is combining them into a German sentence structure, known as der Satzbau. Look at these 4 components.
The formula follows a sequence. First, your subject, then the verb, followed by the transport, or womit, and ending with the destination, or wohin. Let's construct our first examples step by step. Ich fahre mit dem Auto zum Wochenmarkt. I travel by car to the farmer's market. Let's try another one. Fährt mit der Straßenbahn zur Schule. He travels by tram to the school. And finally, let's incorporate our walking exception. Sie geht zu Fuß zum Arzt. She goes on foot to the doctor. Adhering to this structure removes the guesswork from German syntax. It ensures you construct the phrase correctly every time you speak. You now have the knowledge required to navigate German cities and articulate Bewegung, or movement. Let's put it to a final test. How would you translate, I am traveling by taxi to the train station? I'll provide the base nouns, das Taxi and der Bahnhof. Following our formula, you get Ich fahre mit dem Taxi zum Bahnhof. Now you can apply these rules to your own plans. Leave a comment below answering this question. Wohin fährst du heute und womit?